DOJ set to investigate anti-conservative bias among social media giants. Oh boy, this could be interesting. In perhaps one of the most significant moves of President Donald Trump's administration, the Department of Justice looks set to investigate bias against conservatives from Silicon Valley tech companies. Attorney General Jeff Sessions is exploring a potential investigation of social media companies and will be briefed on September 25th by Republican State Attorney General, who has already examined the firms practicing, according to two people familiar with the matter, said on a Tuesday report. Attorney General attended the meeting will be from Alabama, Nebraska, Tennessee, Louisiana, and Texas. The meeting will be held to determine whether there is a legitimate case against the companies like Google, App, Facebook, and Twitter, all of whom are accused of being unfairly targeting and deplatforming conservatives, essentially removing them from public discourse. Sessions hasn't made up his mind about whether to proceed, the people said. According to a report, at least one of the attorney generals participating in the meeting has indicated he seeks to break up the companies. Last week, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey denied intentionally censoring conservatives on his platform during a congressional hearing. His company subsequently banned conservative radio host Alex Jones less than 24 hours after hearing for abuse that allegedly violated Twitter's terms of service. During the hearing, bigwig politics contributor Laura Loomer stood up in defiance of Congress and Dorsey, making a virtual plea to President Donald Trump to stop the censorship of conservatives online before it was too late. The decision to investigate comes less than 1 week after that confrontation. The companies have said they don't censor any perspectives, according to the report. Rather, they say much of the alleged censorship results from these sites' political policies against threats, hates, harassments, or other forms of abusive speech. Less than an hour ago, Bigwig Politics reported that the leftist Twitter user threatened mass murder of conservatives at a gathering of Washington, D.C., which we've just reported on as well in the previous video. On Tuesday evening, that user account is still active on the website. President Donald Trump has weighed in on the issue, using social media is totally discriminating against Republican conservative voices, speaking loudly and clearly for the Trump administration. We won't let that happen. They are closing down the opinions of many on the right, while at the same time doing nothing to others, he said on August 18th. Okay, so silly question for the day. Do you think there is a bias in Silicon Valley when it comes to conservatives?
There are no silly questions, only silly answers. And my answer is not silly.
So you think...
No, what I would say in all seriousness is... So I saw some of this congressional hearing and I thought it was just unbelievable. It was so softballed.
Yeah.
Did you get the same feeling?
Yeah, it was... Yeah. Literally a whole bunch of people that were not familiar with tech companies were literally asking questions about tech companies. Like...
But I also got the impression that some of the questions were leading.
Yeah.
Like, basically, so this is the answer that I think I want you to say, and here's a really dumb way of getting to that answer. And so is that what you want to say? It's like, what the hell was that?
A lot of it came from the Democratic side too, I will say. A lot of those leading questions were from them.
Yeah.
And look, at the end of the day, look, and technically, Jack Dorsey is right. The reason why they ban conservatives is because of, quote, abusive behavior. The thing is that when we talk about bias, we're not talking about the fact that these, quote, abusive behaviors are being enforced. We're talking about the fact that they're not being enforced from the left. Like this article just rightly says, we literally just did a video before this about the left threatening to shoot up a mega event. You know, I still got the article on the screen. Here it is here. DC police investigate threat to commit mass shooting at mega event in Trump Hotel. So why does this guy have a Twitter account Yet when Alex Jones goes up to someone from CNN and calls him something that died and crawled up the ass of someone, or whatever it was that Alex beautifully said, by the way, why is that considered a threat? But this guy who's threatening to shoot up the mega event, it isn't considered a threat. How do you justify those two things?
You can't justify it. There's definitely a bias. The fact that anyone is even believing weak explanations, such as the explanation that, lefties tend to block more and the algorithm sort of works off of who gets to block the most, and excuses like that. Oh, come on. I was not born yesterday, mate. You know?
Yeah, and look, at the end of the day, it's very much a cop-out. I can sort of understand what he means when he says that. So what he's saying is he's saying that the left tend to go through and use the block feature a lot more than the right does.
And they do have block lists. And if that is true in some way, then there's a plausible explanation about the shadow banning in that way. The fact that, yes, they do. I mean, blocked by Steve is literally a meme with reality, and it happens across the board.
Yeah,
so these block bots,
I'm blocked by Steve.
So, yeah, but if you're blocked by Steve, you're blocked by thousands probably because of block bots and how it all works. And so if that algorithm is going to go, damn, this guy's blocked by like 2,000 people, that's shadow ban. Well, it's going to happen. But it's still a weak explanation in the sense that it would be easy to see that's happening and do something about it. But he's not doing anything about it because the bias is real.
Yeah, at the end of the day, the fact is that if you have a political group, and this is something I've actually talked on when we talked about that video, when you have a political group who's literally being memed about wanting to go through and block everybody because they don't agree with their point of view, then maybe you should sit there and think, okay, so we're going to base the algorithm on people who have gone through and blocked people. But wait, hang on, we have this political group or political aspects of society that wants to seemingly block everybody that doesn't have the right point of view. Boy, I wonder how this algorithm could be abused. Oh yeah. Yeah. And
they are abusing it by sharing block lists and using block bots.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the it's like the Chrome extension, and it's also on Firefox, which is the no platform for fascist toolkit. Yeah. How is that allowed on the freaking whatever that thing is called, the store or whatever you want to call it? How is that allowed? How did that get through checking?
Yeah, but then at the end of the day, you can't have InfoWars on there.
Exactly.
Yeah, like Apple has literally banned InfoWars from their App Store now.
Yeah. They think as if that's really going to stop people from wanting to see the show. They'll just get on the PC and watch it, whatever.
Or just boot up Safari and type Infowars.com.
Yeah, do it in Safari. That'd be great. Yeah. And on the phone it works. I have actually tested it. It works on the phone, just in the browser.
I still use Alex Jones's stuff for articles when it's relevant, when it's important, when they're good articles. Yeah.
There are effects to quality of life, though. I mean, the fact that I can't just go and watch his show on YouTube and then turn the screen off and go about my business listening to it while I do housework is annoying. If I go in a browser or the app, as soon as I turn the screen off, it stops the show. That's annoying. I mean, there are quality of life effects in this, and I don't think it's fair.
And look, at the end of the day, if you want to talk about conservative bias in Silicon Valley, how is it that Gab.ai is not allowed in the App Store or in Google Play Store, yet Twitter app is? Twitter's app literally has people like Richard Spencer on there, but yet they sit there and they claim that Gab can't have their app on the App Store because it promotes hate speech, because it's a free speech platform.
Correct. Free speech is hate speech to these people. So if simply saying free speech as your tagline means, that's hate speech. Yeah. And no, we can't have that app on there. They're not publishers. They're not platforms. They're publishers. Yeah. And that has to come out. And it's not surprising to me that after the congressional hearing, this has not gone away. Because it's clear that congressional hearing was a farce. It was a farce, yeah, or kangaroo court, or whatever you want to call it, or kabuki theater is another word, you know.
Yeah, like we literally had Marco Rubio, sitting there going into one of these court hearings, and you know he doesn't even know who reportedly doesn't even know who Alex Jones is.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's a load of crap. But anyway, guys, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. Do you believe that there is a anti-conservative bias among social media? Do you think
yes, I do.
Do you think that we're just a little bit, putting on the tinfoil hat, aluminium hat, or do you think we might be actually right on this? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Apart from that, guys, obviously, let me know if your thoughts too. Do you think that Trump will actually go through and break up these tech companies? Or would you much rather him put in a First Amendment or extend the First Amendment to the digital playground? I would much rather the later. But let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.